अस्सलामुअलैकुम डियर स्टूडेंट। आज हम स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं इंग्लिश ग्रामर का कोर्स और इसमें आप सीख सकेंगे जस्ट 30 दिनों में मुकम्मल इंग्लिश ग्रामर। मास्टर इंग्लिश ग्रामर जस्ट इन 30 days। Day 1, this is a good book which is opened with expectation and closed in profit. English grammar. English grammar is related to expressing words in their singular and plural forms. Grammar refers to a systematic set of rules of a language and structure of a language like its skeleton. It is important for language learners to understand the rules of grammar because if you use or order words incorrectly, your sentence will not make sense. Two methods of learning grammar. By using language or by learning the rules one by one, applying them. Most people use both methods together. Grammar tells us how to put a sentence together and the order a sentence should have. Different languages have different grammar. People have studied English grammar for a long time. Many of its rules have not changed for hundreds of years, but some rules are changing because the way people use English grammar is changing. Sentence. A sentence is a linguistic unit consisting of one or more words that are grammatically linked and expresses a complete thought. It can include words grouped meaningfully to express a statement, question, exclamation, request, and command or suggest. Part of a sentence. Subject is a person, place, thing, or idea doing or being something. Predicate describes the subject. Subject, the line. Predicate, roared. He, subject, predicate, writes well. Subject, she, predicate, enjoys going to the cinema. Subject, the girl in the blue dress, predicate, arrived late. So, there are two parts in a sentence, subject and predicate. Sentence fragment. Sentence fragment is not a complete sentence, never have independent clause, but instead are dependent clauses or phrase. Fragment can masquerade a real sentence because they begin with a capital letter and end with a period. It lacks the subject and the predicate, even both the subject and the predicate. Where to find the sentence fragments? Sentence fragments usually appear before and after the independent clause to which they belong. When we got in the car, we rolled down the window. When we got in the car are a sentence fragment and a dependent clause. It clearly belongs to the independent clause that follows it and should not be rewritten like this. When we got in the car, we rolled down the window. We rolled down the window when we got in the car. Declarative sentence states a fact or an argument and it ends in the period. There are 10 million people at risk. I am no wine connoisseur, but I know what like. Manila is the capital of Philippines. Interrogative sentence asks a question. It ends with a question mark. Interrogative sentence एक सवाल या फिक्रा होता है और इसके आखिर में सवाल या निशान होता है. Where do you live? आप कहाँ रहते हो? सवाल पूछा जा रहा है. Can you find my umbrella? क्या आप मेरी छतरी ढूंढ सकते हो? Imperative sentence हुक्मिया जुमला जिसमें कोई हुक्म दिया जाता है, कोई कमांड दी जाती है. Imperative sentence is a command or a polite request. It ends with an exclamation mark or it ends with a period. The subject is usually left out and is understood by you. Please bring my umbrella. You clear the road at once. Exclamatory sentence expresses excitement, conveys a strong feeling or a sudden emotion. It ends with an exclamation mark. Exclamatory जुमले के आखिर पे exclamation mark होता है. इसमें हम अपने जज्बात का और मजबूत फीलिंग्स का एहसास को बयान करते हैं. You have broken my umbrella. She is the thief. That is beautiful. 4 basic sentence structures. Simple sentence is a sentence with only one independent clause. It is referred to as independent because while it might be a part of command or complex sentence, it can also stand by itself as a complete sentence. Simpleton sentence has the most basic elements that make it sentence: a subject, a verb, and a complete thought. The struggle is eternal. Joy waited for the train. The train was late. Anne and Joyce took the bus. Compound sentence is a sentence that contains at least two independent clauses connected to one another with a coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction is easy to remember if you think the word fan, boys, for, and, not, but, are, yet, so. Joy waited for the train, but the train was late. Anne and Joyce arrived at the bus station before noon and they left on the bus before I arrived. Anne and Joyce left on the bus before I arrived, so I did not see them at the bus station. Complex sentence is a sentence that contains an independent clause and at least one or more dependent clause. Dependent clause is a similar to an independent clause or complete sentence, but it lacks one of the elements that would make it a complete sentence. Dependent clause is because Anne and Joyce arrived at the bus station before noon, while she waited at the train station after they left on the bus. Periodic sentence is used to refer to a complex sentence beginning with a dependent clause and ending with an independent clause. And while she waited at the train station, Joy realized that the train was late. Periodic sentences can be especially effective because the completed thought course of the end of it, so the first part of the sentence can be built up to the meaning that comes at the end. Compound complex sentence is a sentence with two or more independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. It combines the compound and the complex sentence. The compound part means that it has two or more complete sentences. The complex part means that it has at least one incomplete sentence. His blue eyes were light, bright, and sparkling behind half-moon spectacles, and his nose was very long and crooked, as though it had been broken at least twice. तो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आज के लेसन में हमने सीखा कि ग्रामर क्या है और सेंटेंसेस की कितनी इकसाम हैं। सो मिलते हैं इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। चैनल को लाइक कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए और शेयर कीजिए।